Nearly every television format currently in production, the morning show, variety hour, and gritty procedural, took shape during a brief 12-year window following World War II. Once the war concluded, American factories pivoted from military production back to consumer goods. This manufacturing shift triggered a massive surge in television set ownership as assembly lines began producing cathode ray tubes by the thousands. Early broadcasts were restricted by significant technical hurdles. Shows were transmitted live with no way to preserve visual quality, and signals were localized to individual cities rather than reaching a broad audience. Before sophisticated storytelling could evolve, engineers had to build a nationwide technological infrastructure that could support millions of simultaneous viewers. A major breakthrough arrived in the early 1950s with the completion of a transcontinental coaxial cable network. This physical link allowed a single broadcast to be beamed coast to coast for the first time. Establishing this network required a massive industrial effort, using heavy machinery to unspool thousands of miles of specialized cable across the American landscape. Broadcasters also began moving away from low-quality live recordings toward 35mm film. By pre-recording and editing programs, television networks could preserve visual fidelity and broadcast the exact same show multiple times, creating the foundation for the syndication industry. Production methods matured with the introduction of the 3-camera setup. This allowed directors to capture 3 different angles simultaneously, maintaining the energy of a live performance while offering the visual variety of a feature film. With the distribution and recording hardware finally in place, the networks possessed a standardized delivery system. The focus then shifted to the programming needed to fill it. To maximize their reach, networks designed programs specifically intended to replace the morning newscaper and the Sunday evening radio hour. Meet the Press premiered in 1947 and established the standard for political news. It moved away from simple news reading and introduced the moderated panel discussion, turning political reporting into an active debate. When the Today Show launched in 1952, critics were skeptical. Many doubted that audiences would watch television in the morning while preparing for work or school. The format proved resilient by mixing hard news headlines with weather, interviews, and lifestyle features. Host Dave Garroway's relaxed presence helped establish the morning show as a permanent part of the daily American routine. By successfully capturing these early hours, television proved it could command audience attention and advertising revenue at any time of day. In the evenings, variety shows became massive hits. Their popularity was so significant that they drove widespread television set sales, as families sought access to the era's biggest entertainers. Texaco Star Theater was the era's first breakout success. Hosted by Milton Berle, the show was so popular that theaters and restaurants reportedly saw business plummet during the hour he was on the air. The Ed Sullivan Show became the premier stage for American popular culture. A single appearance could launch an artist to stardom, famously introducing a record-breaking national audience to performers like Elvis Presley. On the program American Bandstand, the network documented youth culture and dance crazes. The show played a key role in normalizing the presence of both Black and white artists for a national audience, while establishing rock and roll as a mainstream force. These programs demonstrated that television was doing more than reflecting culture. It was actively standardizing a shared national experience in real time. Scripted comedy also moved from the stage to the screen, evolving into the situation comedy format we recognize today. I Love Lucy perfected the use of the 3-camera film technique before a live audience. This innovation preserved the show's visual quality and enabled Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz to build a highly profitable syndication model. While many sitcoms focused on idealized suburban life, The Honeymooners introduced a different tone. It drew its humor from the realistic domestic friction and financial struggles of a working-class couple living in a sparse Brooklyn apartment. To keep younger viewers engaged during the day, networks began packaging theatrical shorts for television, introducing groups like the Three Stooges and their physical slapstick comedy to a new generation. Primetime matured with the rise of the realistic police procedural. In Dragnet, Jack Webb emphasized step-by-step criminal investigations based on real LAPD case files, prioritizing technical accuracy over sensational action. By tailoring content for children in the afternoon and adults at night, networks successfully organized the broadcast day into predictable, monetizable demographic blocks. In the late 1950s, anthology series began pushing the boundaries of what television could achieve. moving into more cinematic and morally complex territory. Alfred Hitchcock Presents brought the director's signature suspense to the small screen, using macabre themes and famous twist endings to captivate evening audiences. Rod Serling used the Twilight Zone to bypass network censors. By setting his stories in the world of science fiction and fantasy, he was able to deliver sharp social commentary on controversial topics that would have otherwise been restricted. These anthology programs demonstrated that television was a sophisticated medium for storytelling, validating its potential for high art and moral inquiry. By 1959, the technological and creative foundations were complete. As color sets became more affordable, the industry entered a visual renaissance, defining the next decade. The 12 years following World War II resulted in the master blueprint for modern broadcast entertainment. Today's news programs, police procedurals, and dramas still rely on the formats and production techniques established by these early pioneers.